Did you guys see the UNLV story yesterday? And again, not to tell you I told you so.
You would never.
How long have I been telling you guys that UNLV is not well financially? I have talked to the very tippy top of that university.
Yeah.
They are not financially well. They are, I would even go as far as to say, I think they're only in the Mountain West still because they don't have the financial wherewithal athletically to file a lawsuit, to pay an exit fee, right? Did you guys see this yesterday? Where is it? Now it's all behind all the courts. Look at this. Mick Akers from Las Vegas Review-Journal. UNLV Athletic Director Eric Harper told the Board of Regents last week that his department, the athletic department, let this sink in. The athletic department at UNLV only has the funds to pay the first 2 years of football coach Dan Mullen's 5-year contract. Look at these numbers. Because you have $3.5 million of for 5 years, you're running nearly $30 million in the red. What is the plan to pay the coach, and how is it going to get done? Harper said, the athletic director at UNLV, we have the funds to pay the coach over the next 2 years. We have been working with our donors to assist with philanthropic dollars. So, and I know, Monty don't know nothing, but I told you, they're struggling to fundraise. They are struggling to financially support their football program.
Yes.
And this goes back to Allegiant Stadium and paying rent there, or UNLV has got to be singularly focused on making more money. They've got to play better basketball. They've got to win football games.
Does this not further the narrative around Matthew Sluka and his NIL situation?
This is a really scary time at UNLV.
And the other thing too that I don't know if it was in that article or not, but there was a lot of talk yesterday about how in the off season for basketball, you had extended your basketball coach and raised the buyout to, I think it's $2.5 million for the basketball coach. The buyout is, and you're not going to be able to afford that if you let him go. So you're either going to pay him or you're going to buy him out, and you can't afford it really either way. And so my thing here is UNLV is a school and a program athletically that can actually have success. You're not one of these schools that just never competes and basically is just, terrible, but you put the pads on. That's not what UNLV is. UNLV is a program both in basketball and football that can compete. And it just surprises me that these decisions have been made, because everyone thought the Dan Mullen hire was awesome, and it was. But the fact that you're paying him that much money and you can't afford it, that makes you look second class. Yeah. And no, Pac-12 fan, don't tell me this is why UNLV, couldn't go to the Pac, or the Pac didn't want UNLV. This has nothing to do with it, right? That those two conversations are not linked together, in my opinion. They're
not linked together.
I just think that UNLV has to figure out how to make more money. Like, that is not unique to them, but they unfortunately are the ones that are the poster child.
Not going to the NCAA tournament's not good.
It's killing you. Right.
Not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I like Kevin Kruger, and I understand why he's the guy. And you can't, what were they, 17-14 or whatever their record was this year? Like, come on, man. Like, I cannot continue. And it is unfathomable to me today that at 9:30 this morning at the Thomas and Mack Center, UNLV's season is going to come to an end because Utah State is very good. In a home game, how close is that? Because Utah State's favored by 7.5 points.
Yeah.
At Thomas and Mack Center. You lose this game, and you're not in a good place. And I hear constantly about, well, we've got casino money, and
No, you don't. You don't, actually.
Because if you did, and I continue to tell people this, people at UNLV say to me all the time, casinos don't invest in Las Vegas when it comes to marketing. A lot of their marketing dollars are spent outside the market. And why is that? because they've got to get people to travel to Las Vegas.
Well, that's right, because Las Vegas is a transient town, right? People come through there. They travel to Las Vegas. They come to Las Vegas
Yes.
to experience it.
When we were in LA, what did we used to do? We used to market to Las Vegas casinos for Super Bowl week and
Yes.
for the NBA Summer League. When we were going to NBA Summer League and doing live shows there, we were doing it at the Palms and giving out discount codes to our listeners to come and book rooms. And that's how they market outside. They market internationally.
Yes.
To the whales of the world.
So it wouldn't make sense for them to invest in UNLV as a program to do what? To get the person that's in Summerlin?
Yeah, it right now, I'm just going to tell you guys, the economics of G5 Sports is not great.
And I think
it really is not great.
You use that word because what did Brett Yormark say earlier in the show? In order to expand the tournament, what do we need? We need the economics to add up. We need essentially the TV partners to pony up and pay if they want us to, if we're going to have more slots.
Yeah.
And so I think about the economics of college athletics, and whether you're Brett Yormark in the Big 12 and you're answering a question about expanding the tournament and being in favor of that, or you're UNLV trying to survive, bro, you're damn near $30 million in the red and you don't have a way out of that. And so my question is, at what point, what's going to take place to fix this? Because again, as when we had Dr. Ed Scott on the show, you guys remember what he said about private equity, right? And schools looking at that. Hey, we've looked at it in an exploratory way, but I'm not in the business of taking loans that I don't know how I'm going to repay.
It's wild. And what Gloria Navarez said when she was on this show about the economics and talking about the money of TV deals.
Yeah.
And I know, again, I don't know anything, but I'm telling you, the Pac-12 and the Mountain West, whoever gets that first TV extension, and it's a very different conversation because the Mountain West has a TV deal.
Right.
They're looking for an extension. The Pac-12's out looking for a brand new relationship. I think there's one deal out there. I don't think, and Gloria says that I'm wrong, but I don't think there's two deals for both these conferences. Is there enough money for two deals with the Pac-12 and the Mountain West? And again, not survival, because I don't know that anybody just wants to survive. Can the Mountain West and the Pac-12 both get deals that allow you both to survive and to thrive in the same marketplace?
Yes, I believe so, because, the deals, part of it is financial, certainly, but also it's exposure and getting your games and products out there to a wide audience that then also increases value. So I do feel there is money out there, certainly because we're competing against each other and there's two different packages of inventory in the market. I think we're pulling each other down to some degree because there's competition. But I don't think it's mutually exclusive.
You're pulling each other down.
Yeah. How does anyone disagree with that?
I think there's one deal that is, in my opinion, $8 million, and there's another deal that's below that. And I was talking to somebody the other day that said the Pac-12 has a pretty good idea of what they're going to get in their media rights deal. And it's a matter of time. And I hope that's true. These two conferences should merge. Period.
I remain very concerned about how the Pac-12 is going to get to 8, 9, 10 teams, or schools, I should say, not teams.
I don't know.
I don't know, because again, and this is where the vitriol Pac-12 fan typically rolls into the comment section, but I'm unchanged on this. I don't doubt that you have a media rights negotiation happening. I don't think anyone doubts that, but what I doubt is where you're going to go to add schools and really fill this conference out, because
no idea.
Because if you're right, and I think you are, that the media rights deal the Pac-12 has on the table is somewhere around that $8 million mark. Based on what folks like Dr. Ed Scott said and what Gloria has said and what Brett has said over the past couple of years, just hearing them talk about, like, hey, for stuff to work and happen, the economics have to be right. Like Dr. Ed Scott flat out said, hey, it doesn't make sense for us to put our student athletes in a bad position and try to fly them out to to Washington or try to fly them out to this far West Coast destination for their weekend of athletics. That doesn't make sense for us, and it doesn't make us money, and it doesn't allow us to thrive. So at $8 million, let's say that happens, I still don't know how you're going to go out and reapproach the market. And that's where I say, to what you just said, the merge makes the most sense. And
by far.
And I don't know what's going to have to take place for Teresa Gould and company to get on the same page. Because I will say, leaving the Gloria Nevarez interview, I did feel like Gloria was, based on what she said, was open to it, like just from her personally was open to that concept of merging and trying to figure that out. But it seems like that the Pac-12 is really on its own track. Whether you listen to Gloria or Dr. Ed Scott said that, hey, he'd only talked to Teresa Gould that one time. So it very much to me feels like
that was really telling.
Yeah, it feels like the Pac-12 is just in its own thing right now, its own bubble, if you will, and they're not really looking to partner with anybody or work with other people to get something done. And that to me is I guess is surprising when you look at the fact that you're not talking about a $15 or $20 million school media rights deal. You're talking about $8 million. It doesn't get it done.
No, it doesn't. It's just something to watch.
Yeah.
You look at the fact that, again, the Mountain West and the Pac-12, they should merge. Gloria Nevarez has offered to talk about a merger with the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 said no multiple times. That's where our sources are telling us, that the Pac-12 has said we're not going to merge. I still consistently hear, and I will again ask, hey, have you picked a mediator? Do you have a mediation date?
Right.
Last week, the answer was no. You've got to, if you are the Mountain West and the Pac-12, you've got to get on with the business of getting on. One, you have a looming court date, and two, you're on a tight timeline because you've got business in both ends of this conversation that's got to get done for 2026.
Yeah.
So it'll just be interesting to see how all this plays out. But make no mistake about it. What happens today in the NCAA tournament is huge, and it starts with the Big 12 with UNLV, with BYU and Iowa State.
Yeah.
And I think today is a massive day for UNLV.
Yeah, we're in that time of year where schools are trying to make money. And I think that, when you watch these games today, keep that in mind. The buzzer beaters, those last second wins, how important those are to these different institutions.
Yeah, and I think as we go through today, if you view this through a mindset of, hey, what's the financial impact of this outcome? It'll change the way you watch the game.
Yeah.
It will absolutely change the way you watch the game. And I think that's right. I think there's a belief in this world that TV money is endless. I am here to tell you it is not.
Right.
I can only say it so many times. I talk to people in television. I have worked at the highest levels of television. TV money is shrinking. It is not growing. These guys are not going to continue. And I think ESPN and Disney is a great example of this. They're not just going to continue to write checks and be like, yeah, who cares? Here's $10 million a year. Here's $50 million a year. If they were going to do that, they would have done it already.
And again, to that point, and I just want to keep pointing this out because Brett Yormark just said this. Hey, if we're going to be able to do something, the TV partners have to be willing to pay for it.
Yes.
So he's literally telling you what we're telling you.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I go to Las Vegas to connect to San Francisco. Okay.
Right.
I can tell you, I am I don't even know what status I have, but I have pretty good status with Delta Airlines. They send me weekly emails, $57 each way to fly to Las Vegas from Salt Lake.
Yeah, that's what that town is, man. Go there for the weekend, have 2 nights of fun, and go home. That's what, bro. Did you see? Perfect example. F1 tickets this year, $50 a pop.
I could not believe when you sent me that story.
$50 a pop this year, not $500 or $5,000, $50. And why is that? Because they need people to attend that event.
They figured out that you can't just throw a price tag out there and people will pay it no matter what it is.
$3,500 a night, Monty.
Brandon Butler, a member for 26 months.
Nice, dude.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you. So what you're saying is UNLV doesn't have enough butter for all the toast. Not right now, they
Facts.
Not right now.
Bro,
They don't.
it's not that they don't have enough butter. They don't have butter.
Do you guys see the conversation in the direction our conversations are going now when we talk about the economics of college athletics?
Yeah, more and more they're going to people don't have enough money.
UNLV only has enough money to pay Dan Mullen for 2 years. That's wild. That is wild. And that was said in a public forum at a Board of Regents meeting by the athletic director.
And again, I would also point out that's pretty unprecedented.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've never heard of a school signing a contract with somebody or signing someone to a contract and then only having 2 of the 5 years funded.
When's the last time we heard something like that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The $240 million abacus mistake in Tucson.
Yeah, great example.
The
right?
accounting mistake that, well, how did that mistake happen? Oh, that's right. They were using their daily cash to pay for athletics. They were making so little money on athletics at Arizona through the pandemic that they went to dip into the University of Arizona's daily cash, like how they pay the janitor and the professors and the people for pencils and paper.
Yeah.
That's how they were paying for athletics. And then somebody put a decimal in the wrong spot and they misplaced $240 million.
Yeah.
That's what these stories.
I thought you said they misplaced $240 million.
Read that headline. My friends, read the headline. They've only got 2 years of money on hand at UNLV football to pay the coach. So if you can only pay your coach for 2 years, what does that say to Rydell about helmets?
Yeah.
Training table.
Yeah.
Paying for football, stadium facility issues.
What does it say to kids who were considering you? They're not going to go there.
Dude, like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that could be true. UNLV only has margarine.
Right.
How much are hotels for the race, though? Probably significantly more expensive. Probably more expensive. What's up, Shouty? Shouty. And donuts. Apparently, the PAC network is basically useless. Not useless. Is it an asset or a liability?
I think it depends who you ask.
I think that's exactly right.
It depends who you ask.
If you are producing your own games for the CW, having all that equipment in that facility is an asset.
Clutch.
If you wind up selling your games to ESPN, let's say, who will only produce their own games, that's a liability now. It's a liability now. So I don't think we know the answer to that in all situations. I really don't. The Hawaiian golfer. Is this a surprise? UNLV already had skimped out on NIL payments for its quarterback last year, which is what Jake said. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, and again, we don't have proof that these two are tied together, right? The NIL thing.
We don't.
We don't have proof of that. But what we do have is the optics, if you will. The optics are not great around, hey, well, if you guys only have 2 out of the 5 years for Dan, is that why you didn't pay Sluka or what?
Maybe Sluka wasn't lying.
Yeah, maybe, like, you know what I mean? So we don't have proof, hard evidence that they're connected. But when you start talking about not having money for Rydell and the training table and Dan Mullen, yeah, probably, that doesn't help you. Not
going to be wearing jock straps next year at UNLV, are you?
Yeah, that doesn't help your case.
Shouty. Shouty Konsinabong. I absolutely dismantled that.
Good luck.
Shouty. Love y'all. Love the show. Appreciate you. Thank you, Shouty, who's been a member for 7 months.
Nice job. Appreciate you.
I cannot tell you how much you guys, your memberships support this show. I really appreciate you hitting the like button every day. Helps this show. I know we've had over 2,000 views already today. And we only have 52 likes. I've got to do a better job of driving home. Please hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button.
Please hit the like button. Please hit the like. Please hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? That really helps the channel grow. If you have not hit the like button already, please do. TJ Beck, good morning to you, sir. Is UNLV trying to do what Colorado did with Dion? Getting enough money to pay the coach based on future success? Maybe the QB issue was not getting paid at UNLV. Maybe the QB issue not getting paid at UNLV has teeth. I think it does. I think it absolutely does. And donuts. Maybe UNLV should play in Sam Boyd to save money.
Oh,
I don't know what that looks like.
It begs the question. You're renting space at the Raiders Stadium, Allegiant, and you have all this extra cost, and that's where I say, like, with the UConn conversation, the USF conversation, the Gonzaga conversation, certainly, because they don't even play football. Like, these programs that they don't play football, or they don't have stadiums on campus, or they're building a stadium on campus, but it's not open yet. Like, all those little minutia details matter when you talk about profiting, because that's all these schools care about, profit. We want to make sure that we can keep making money through athletics. And if you can't, to the point where you're $30 million into the red, now we got problems. And I don't know if, again, just speculation, I don't know what the right thing to do for UNLV is. I don't know if part of this, like, I was looking at, anytime you get a story like this, and you go and look at all the replies, and you look into some of the people replying, there are a lot of folks that are UNLV fans that, there was like there was a writer guy who has an independent outlet in Las Vegas, I guess, who was saying that they feel like they need to fire some of the leadership at UNLV because that's why they're in this situation. All I'm saying is, you got to do whatever you got to do to get back to making money, dude. Like, you can't just sit here and be in this spot constantly.
Yep. Sal Capone says, hit the like button. Yes, please do. Danny Kiger, 53 likes. Howdy, boys. Yeah, please hit the like button.
Yeah. Can we get to 100?
See, I mentioned it, and we're at 64.
Just get us to 100.
Just like that.
When we get to 100 likes on a show, it booms.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. Smash the like button. Monty will do better April 1st with the new timing of the show. I will be better about saying hit the like button. You're right. UNLV, TJ Beck, UNLV has to be banking on a windfall from the Pac-12 poaching fees suit to pull them out of the fire financially. I think that's a very interesting conversation.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know where else you're going to get a windfall.
Rock and Rant, Miami doesn't pay rent to the Dolphins. They rev share some things, but not ticket sales. UNLV needs a similar deal. It's going to be tough with the Raiders.